Hello again and welcome to Devotion to Writing, a channel devoted to helping you cultivate a daily writing practice and to realize that you are creative abundance. I've said it before, but it's worth mentioning again in this video that I know that you can write. You already have all the talent and ability, the ideas that you need in order to write whatever it is you want to write, whether it's a novel or short stories or memoir or poetry or essays. What keeps many people from writing, in my experience of 30 years of working with writers, of running residencies and workshops, what stops most people from writing, what keeps them, is the doubt and the fear or these other resistances that come up that keep us from getting to the page daily, or if not daily, then frequently, okay? More often than not, we find ourselves at the page writing. So this resistance, this doubt, this fear that we have about our own creative abilities perhaps, or maybe specifically about writing and our abilities there, are what keeps us from writing. What I want to do is, what I hope to do is not to teach you how to write, because as I said, you already know how to write. I know you do. But to help you sit and cultivate this really demanding, rigorous practice, which is kind of reining ourselves in, right? Keeping us from all the distractions, all the mental chatter, and getting to the page, breaking the silence of the page, and beginning to tap into what is within us and write this, our own voices, our own hearts. Today, I want to share with you something I think that speaks to that. It is something that Vincent van Gogh wrote to his brother Theo in a letter, because he is naming, I think, something that many of us feel at least once and often many times in our lives, in our creative lives, in our lives as writers, and just in general. And that is the feeling that no one sees us, that we are perhaps forgotten, that if only we could make ourselves known, if only to just one person, if one person would truly recognize what we are trying to say or to convey, to express, to illuminate, then maybe we would finally feel fulfilled. Maybe our lives would then be easier. Maybe writing would then be easier. Maybe what we wrote would somehow feel justified or validated. What Van Gogh writes points towards something deep and enduring. He writes, and I quote, "What am I in the eyes of most people? A non-entity, an eccentric, an unpleasant person, somebody has no position in society and never will have. In short, the lowest of the low." All right, then, even if that were absolutely true, then I should one day like to show by my work what such an eccentric, such a nobody has in his heart. He isn't trying to prove his greatness when he says at the end that he wants to show what he has in his heart. He isn't reaching for fame, for notoriety. He simply wants to reveal what is in him, this passion that he has to express what is in him in paints, on a canvas, the light, the fields, the orchards. And yes, his work is recognized now, okay? Everybody knows Van Gogh. But in his lifetime, it wasn't. He sold only a few paintings. But nonetheless, he placed his heart into his brush, into his paints, into his very way of seeing, and into painting the canvases. He put his heart into those. And this is all we can ever control as artists. Yes, we may really, truly, as I think Van Gogh wanted in his life, to be seen, to be recognized, his heart to be recognized, again, not for fame, just for someone to truly see him. But we have no control over this as artists. And it's hard to keep from going down that path, but we just have to keep bringing ourselves back to honoring what is in us and expressing that as clearly as we can. Again, not for recognition, not for outcome, but only for the attention that we can give to the poem, the story, the image, the memory that we are trying to convey. And when we do this, when we bring our full attention, we are bringing love, which is our heart. We are shaping our hearts on the page or on the canvas into something that can be found. And if we're lucky, we might live to see this received. And if we don't, our work was not for nothing. It was not for nothing. So keep working, keep showing up, keep coming to the page or the canvas or the piano or to your relationships wholeheartedly. Stand in a wheat field, look at the crows, stand in the starry sky, and write and paint with the ink and the oils of your heart. This is all you can do. This is the practice. This is the art. It is not about, again, recognition isn't making it a great piece of art. It's not making it artistic, right? If that was the case, Van Gogh would not be an artist because he wasn't recognized until after his death. But of course, we recognize him as a truly great artist because of his heart. So trust yourself, stay true to your vision, stay true to your voice. And if you say, oh, I don't know what my voice is, you'll find your voice by coming to the page routinely, consistently, and writing. Your voice is there. It's going to be there. And the more that you write, the more you're going to notice it. You're going to notice your rhythms. You're going to notice your tone. You're going to notice your diction. This is your voice. You're going to notice your heart is speaking. This truly is your voice. Because your voice is that heart-directed, that heart-driven. Because the heart is the divine seat within you. And what it beats, you give as expression to the world. So today, when you write, and let's just say we're now at the segment where we have to bring up the stone today. We have to do the lifting. We have to carry our one stone, which is our one piece of writing, to the page today. When you are bringing up your one stone, just as you're sitting to write, just pause and take a few slow breaths. Direct those breaths to your heart space. See if you can open up in there. Just open, breathe into it. Know that whatever comes is good, is okay. You're going to let it. You're going to let your heart move, and you're going to feel it expand. Feel the veils, the armor draw back, fall off. And now I want you to write what your heart holds. What is inside of you that wants to be shown? Write one small private thing. One small private thing. A shape, a word, a color, a dream, a song that is yours. That this nobody, this one you are, this uniqueness carries in their heart. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I truly hope that this video and my other videos help you get to the page, cultivate a devoted writing practice, because you will find in your devotion, through your devotion, your creative abundance. You will find your voice. You will find such a wealth, a treasure of material in you that it will bless your life. I can promise you this has been my experience, and I know from talking to other writers, other artists who are engaged in their devotion to their creative work, that this is the case, that our lives, our very lives, become blessed by our devotion, our practice. So if you like this video, please like it, please subscribe. Know that this is a place where you can come daily. You can get some inspiration. You can find some tips on writing. I already know you know how to write. You just maybe need a little nudge to get to the page, to move yourself from block to flow, and from fear and doubt into trust that you are creative. So thanks again for watching. Until we meet again, I hope that you write deeply. I know that if you do write, you will write beautifully, because beautiful is what you are. Blessings.